OTown was one of the greatest chapters of my life, so when the idea of a reunion was brought up to me, of course I was intrigued. However, I made the decision not to be part of an OTown reunion. It was a difficult decision, but ultimately necessary to move on with the next chapter of my career. Today, I want to do a bio on Ashley Angel. Who is he? Ashley Angel is an American pop singer best known for his stint with OTown. He had a brief solo career before taking his career into a different direction. So without further ado, this is the story of Ashley Angel, the ex-member of OTown. Ashley was born Ashley Parker on August 1st, 1981. Parents of Darren and Paula Parker, he was named after Ashley Wilkes from Gone with the Wind to let the world know that there were guys named Ashley, because Ashley was a girl's name. At the age of 3, his parents divorced, but his mother would later remarry to Ron Angel, and that's when he became known as Ashley Parker Angel. But by the time he was 5, he was drawn to the arts. He played the piano, guitar, and acted in school plays and musicals. As early as a preteen, he began to write his own songs. He also spent his childhood voice acting for anime video games. One day he saw Lou Pearlman's ad as he was holding auditions for a new music group. But there was a catch. Their lives would be documented on the TV show Making the Band. Lou would go on a tour to find new guys for his band and made a stop in Vegas. Ashley traveled to Vegas to audition where he performed an original piece. And Lou announced that he will be one of the 25 men who earned a trip to Orlando for a second audition, and was eventually selected to the 8 who go through the process of making the band. Eventually, thanks to his look, talent, and charisma, he was selected to be part of OTown. Other members selected was Ikaika, Jacob, Eric, and Trevor.
It just hit me like a ton of bricks. I felt so privileged at that moment to be in the final cut, to be part of the band, that tears just started coming to my eyes, and I never would have expected that I would have reacted that way.
But back home, he was dealing with a personal struggle with his stepdad. His dad disapproved of him taking the boy band route and said if he saw Ashley on TV, he'll turn it off. OTown was beginning to gel as a group. However, a member named Ikaika left the group due to family drama. He will be replaced by Dan Miller. Miller actually auditioned for the group but wasn't selected for the final 8. Instead of signing with Lou Pearlman, OTown decided to sign under Clive Davis under his new label called J Records. Clive made it clear that he was going to make OTown his premier act. That means that the expectations for the group will be enormous and will be a disappointment if the investment wouldn't return. OTown was also given a second season on Making the Band to track the group's development. Their first single was called Liquid Dreams. The song became the first single to debut #1 in terms of sales, and eventually peaked at number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song also gained heavy rotation on the MTV show TRL. In January the next year, the album was released and peaked at number 5 on the Billboard's 200s. After the release, the band released their second single, a ballad called All or Nothing. What was crazy about the song was that the group was given the song after an Irish boy band named Westlife passed on it after their producer, Simon Cowell, said no. All or Nothing became OTown's signature song as it peaked on number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100s. Thanks to All or Nothing, they opened for Britney Spears, won a Teen Choice Award, and their show Making the Band was picked up for a 3rd season. Their debut album was certified platinum thanks to All or Nothing and Making the Band. The band released 2 more singles called We Fit Together and Love Should Be a Crime, but neither song were as popular as their first 2. This brings us to Making the Band Season 3. That season showed them engaging in their success, but more importantly, OTown wanted to prove to the industry that they're legit. The band will be considered as a one-hit wonder because even though Liquid Dreams did well, All or Nothing was a smash to the point that the song became synonymous with the band. Nonetheless, Clive Davis granted the band the option to do a second album, but the boys wanted more input on the songs, which Clive gave them to some extent. After their run on Making the Band ended, the band began recording tracks for their second album. After a few delays, O2 was released in November 2002. The album had little to no success as their debut album. It spawned 2 singles, These Are the Days and I Showed Her, but both tanked. One issue with this album was that the Making the Band show wasn't running for them. At the time, Bad Boy executive Sean Combs took over the franchise. 2. The sound was changing in 2002. No longer the bubblegum pops that sales were marketing anymore. Instead, alternative rock, hip-hop, and R&B were shaping the industry, so there was no need for a boy band at the time. The band went on a small tour, but in August 2003, OTown was dropped from J Records, and the group decided to go their separate ways shortly after. After OTown ended, Ashley signed a solo deal with Blackground Records. Shortly after signing with Blackground, MTV pitched an idea that Ashley needs a reality show. The show would be called There and Back Ashley Parker Angel. The reality show documents Ashley trying to shed his boy band label that was stowed upon him and trying to raise his newborn son Lyric, who was born while filming the show. The show only ran one season. Ashley then released his first and so far only solo album, Soundtracks to Your Life. It debuted at number 5 on the Billboard 200s and featured the single Let You Go, which peaked at number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100s and number 1 on the MTV show TRL. Let You Go is produced by Max Martin and Dr. Luke before he became insufferable. To promote the album and song, he went on tour with Ashley Simpson. After the tour ended, Ashley was offered the role of Link Larkin in the 8-time Tony Award-winning Hairspray on Broadway. He was praised for his performance so much that he was extended for Hairspray 4 times over. He did, however, suffer a setback during this run when he suffered a back injury, but recovered enough to finish the year. After this, he got the opportunity to star on the touring version of Wicked and scored the leading role. In 2012, Ashley began work on his second project named Mansions of Arcadia. There he'll team up with Zandy Berry, but as of 2022, the project hasn't been released. Meanwhile, in 2013, the members of OTown decided it was time for a reunion. Excitement was in the air, but it was short-lived. Ashley announced that he would not be a part of the reunion. OTown was one of the greatest chapters of my life, so when the idea of a reunion was brought up to me, of course I was intrigued. However, I made the decision not to be part of an OTown reunion. It was a difficult decision, but ultimately necessary to move on with the next chapter of my career. Ashley was viewed as an important member of OTown, and with that quote devastated OTown fans, but in the end, Ashley sent his blessings to the group. Ashley continued his Broadway work, reprising his role in Wicked through 2018. In 2019, he was featured in the Lance Bass produced documentary, The Boy Band Con. There, he revealed a shocking revelation. There was a time Lou lured Ashley into his room. There, he mentioned that Ashley was the Justin Timberlake and Nick Carter of OTown and told him that he needed to stay in shape. And from these pictures, he took that advice very well. Next, Lou told Ashley that he minored in physical therapy and offered Ashley a muscle massage. He got out of it thanks to a phone call from his manager. Other than that, there hasn't been much recent activity from Ashley besides his racy Instagram pictures. But for OTown, they released 2 albums without Ash, and in 2021, the group performed their entire album to commemorate 20 years of OTown. And that's the story of Ashley Angel. Tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.